Well, I do remember, Stinky. It was such a long time ago now, and you were just a tiny little mouseling, you were. Oh, it's the Poppets. Hello, my little Poppets mums and dads, and welcome to story time once again. Well, Stinky and I were just having a little chat and talking, well, going down memory lane, I suppose you could say. I was telling Stinky about when he was a tiny little mouseling a very long time ago, and I was showing Stinky his bunny rug that he had when he was a tiny little mouse. I used to wrap him up in his bunny rug and keep him nice and snug and warm when you were just a tiny, tiny little mouseling, Stinky. And how cute you were, I have to say, and you're still a cute little mouse. You really are. Well, talking about babies and Stinky, of course, when he was a little mouseling, today's story, my dear Poppets, is called 10 Little Fingers and 10 Little Toes. And thank you, Stinky dear. Now, I must mention, my dear Poppets, that this is a book request. We have read this book before, but this is a book request because there's two little Poppets that I know, and I do believe they are called Logan and Toby. So thank you, Logan and Toby, for your book request. I'm looking forward to reading this one again because it is a favourite of mine, I have to say. So I love book requests, so thank you for the book request, 10 Little Fingers and 10 Little Toes. Now, Toby and Logan, you get cozy and settle down with Mum, and we'll soon crack on with today's story. And of course, my dear ones, I have to mention the storytime cake for today, which is a lovely cake here with a pair of chubby little fingers, little hands on the top there, and a lovely little sippy cup with a little blue dog on the front there. Well, Stinky, you can get nice and comfy in your bunny rug, dear, and we'll crack on with the story, okay? Good boy. Yes, oh, your wonderful little bunny rug that you had from such a long time ago, Stinky, and you can get nice and snug with that. It's wonderful to go down memory lane and look at photographs from when Stinky was such a tiny little mouseling, and I was also looking at some photographs of Maxwell as well when he was a little baby, and my, how they do grow up. And here we go, my dear Poppets. There was once a little baby who was born far away. And there's some lovely mountains and some hills there. Yes, and a lovely yellow sky. It looks like the sun is going down. A little baby that was born far away. And another who was born on the very next day. Yes, and I might remove that dust cover, I think. Bit of a nuisance. And there's a lovely newborn baby there. A lovely little baby. All wrapped up in a bunny rug, and it looks like the nurse is holding the baby there, I think. And both of these babies, as everyone knows, there's two little cuties there, two sweet little Poppets there on the page there. Looks like two little boys had 10 little fingers and 10 little toes. Oh, some chubby little fingers and some chubby little toes. Look at that. How sweet. Very, very cute. Yes, I remember Stinky's tiny little paws when he was a little mouseling. There was one little baby who was born in a town and another who was wrapped in an eiderdown. Oh, yes. There's a cheeky little monkey face peeking out there under the eiderdown. Look at that. How gorgeous. Very, very cute. Yes, lovely little fellow there. And both of these babies, as everyone knows, oh, I think I might know what's coming up next, my dear Poppets. Cheeky little Poppets there they are. They're giggling and laughing away there. Had 10 little fingers and, of course, 10 little toes. Yes, 10 little fingers and 10 little toes. And there they are there. Little cuties that they are. I do like this book, I have to say. There was one little baby who was born in the hills and another who suffered from sneezes and chills. Oh, the poor little Poppet. He has a cold and he's got a red nose there, and he's having some medicine to help him to feel better. Poor little puss there. Not very well. Yes, suffers from sneezes and chills. And both of these babies, as everyone knows, And there they are there, and the poor little fellow there, he has a hot water bottle to help to keep him warm there. Lots of babies on that page. Lots and lots. Had 10 little fingers and 10 little toes. Yes, all the babies there with no shoes on with their cheeky, sweet little toes there. All giggling together. How wonderful. There was one little baby who was born on the ice and another in a tent who was just as nice. Well, there's a little baby there all rugged up with some mittens and a scarf on there, standing in the ice there, and another one by a tent. All of these babies, but they all have 10 little fingers and 10 little toes. And both of these babies, as everyone knows, there's quite a lot of them there now, all gathered together, sitting there on the steps there. Lots and lots of babies. Do you know what the next phrase is? I think you might. Wait for it, my poppets. Oh, yes. Had 10 little fingers and 10 little toes. And there they are there on the swing, having a jolly old time there, having a push on the swing. Wonderful. You can take your little poppet to the park and give them a push on the swing. They do like that very much. But the next baby born was truly divine. A sweet little child who was mine, all mine. And there's a lovely red armchair there with Mum sitting there, and I do believe she has a very sweet, special little bundle in her arms there. Yes. And this little baby, as everyone knows, and there's all the babies there standing together, even the one that suffers from sneezes and chills there, blowing his nose with a hanky, has 10 little fingers. And there's Mum there with a very sweet little poppet there on her lap, having a cuddle there in the armchair. And 10 little toes. Oh, and there's a sweet little baby there, lying there with Mum. Perhaps Mum's just about to put a clean nappy. Looks like he's just had a bath, so he's all lovely and clean there. 10 little toes. And 3 little kisses. Some more babies there, giggling and standing there together in a group there. On the tip of its nose. Oh, how sweet. And there's Mum and baby there together, and she's giving her dear sweet little poppet there a kiss on the tip of his nose. The end. And that was called 10 Little Fingers and 10 Little Toes. A very sweet book, I have to say. So thank you, Logan, and thank you, Toby, for this wonderful book request. I do like getting book requests, I have to say, and that's a particularly sweet one. I did enjoy reading that very, very much. So thank you, my dear poppets, for this wonderful book request. Well, we have come to the end of story time once again, my dear poppet, so I'd better have a chat to Stinky. Oh, and there he is there. He's snuggled up under his baby blanket there. Oh, up you come, Stinky dear. Did you enjoy that book, Stinky? You did? Oh, that's wonderful. What's that? Can you take your baby blanket to bed with you tonight? Yes, you can take it to bed, Stinky. Perhaps you can snuggle up your toy mouse in your baby blanket. That might be a good idea. Yes, well, Stinky, you know what time it is, don't you? Yes, I'm afraid we do. We have to say goodbye to the poppets. Well, my dear poppets, thank you once again for tuning in for story time. I hope you enjoyed that book, 10 Little Fingers and 10 Little Toes. Perhaps you could read that book, 10 Little Fingers or 10 Little Toes, or you could make a very cute story time cake, or perhaps you could get your photo album out and look at pictures of yourself when you were a tiny little baby. And as always, my dear ones, thank you for watching, and until next time.